Hey, I hope you're having a fantastic Thursday. I have something fun here that I want to create with you guys. This is definitely something that I just tried to figure out myself how to make. I had looked for some instructions on how to make something sort of similar, and I just could never figure it out. I'm so one of those people that like I need a video to like see exactly what's happening and figure it out, and I'm telling you, I wasted so many pieces of 12 by 12 designer paper trying to follow instructions. I thought I'm just gonna wing it and just try to make it myself. So I am using the So Sentimental stamp set. I'm using some From the Heart designer paper, and then I'm using the punch board, the envelope punch board. Stampin' Up! Doesn't offer this one anymore, but this is a standard item that you can find. I'll link to one in the YouTube description and over on my website. If you don't have this, I'll put up a link where you can get it. I love having it. I don't use it a ton. It's one of those tools I kind of tuck back in my craft space, and then every once in a while I pull it out. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making a cute little container for a Hershey chocolate bar. So this is one that I actually have left over from Christmas. So it's one that we had, maybe one of the kids got it in their stockings. Maybe it was just in some candy we had. That's why it has the little snowman on it. Here's the deal. I think this is larger than most of the candy bars. As I was making this treat thing, I think one of the reasons that I was having a problem is because this is larger than most. This is a special holiday design bar, so that's leading me to believe that it might be a little bit thicker or wider. So this may, you might have to adjust this for whatever candy bar you're using, because I think that was the problem. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my trimmer, and we're going to trim this paper at 7 by 7. Okay, so we have our 7 by 7 square. Now, if you're really particular, you will want to figure out how to cut this and score it and fold it so the hearts are pointing up. I'm not that picky, and if I have to figure that out, I'm not going to do the project. So I just go with it. Whatever way the hearts are pointing, that's the way the hearts are pointing, and I let it go. Okay, so on our punch board, what we're going to do is we're going to line this up at 2.5. We're going to punch this, and then we're going to score it. I'm the first to admit I don't always know how these things work. Then we're going to flip it and then flip it again. So it's all the way, it's the opposite side. Okay, so 2.5. I have literally never used this to make an envelope. Then on this, the opposite side from what you just did, you're going to do 3.5. I got to look at my notes because I'm telling you, I messed this up so many times. I really didn't know what I was doing. Okay, so now then we'll flip it all the way around and we'll do 3.5 again. Okay, so be careful when you're scoring. If you're using designer paper, this paper is going to be thin. So now we can go ahead and flip this around. Press this up here, and it will round the corners. And I actually like the size of this particular corner rounder. Okay. So we have those pieces. Let's get those out of the way. So now what we're going to do is we are going to just fold this. And so this is where you're going to see, if you have it this way, your hearts are going to be upside down. It just is, it can be kind of weird if you want to be aware of that. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to trim out these little corners. And I don't know if when you're making an envelope you do this. I have no idea. This is just what I came up with to make this little container. Again, I really couldn't figure out anybody else's directions. I struggled quite a bit. So I'm just clipping these out here. So now basically what you have is you have something that looks like this. Okay, so you're gonna have, this piece is gonna hang over this little end, okay? I'm hoping you guys are close enough. So this is hanging over. If you fold this, it's going to bend this piece. So we're just gonna trim this off because it's gonna be covered. It's not gonna matter. See, we're gonna cover that, okay? So now we have these two pieces here. And it's not, these are gonna stick out a little bit because this bar is pretty thick, okay? So what we're gonna do is, now that we have that piece and we have this piece, this corner here that's a little bit larger is just gonna wrap around the container. Now you can have either design you want in here, it's totally fine. So what we're gonna do is put our chocolate bar in here, and this is basically how I made this. I just put the chocolate bar in the paper, and that's how I decided how big I needed everything. That's what I ended up doing. Okay, so this bar is thick, so it's not gonna lay flat. We're gonna make a pocket. So now we're gonna bring this up, and now that our bar is in there working as our guide, we can add our adhesive. Now I suggest that you use something stronger than snail adhesive. I'm doing that right now because I'm on video, okay? But use something on these flaps that is stronger than snail adhesive. Okay, so then in here, just for the sake of this video here, we're gonna put adhesive all in there. And you can see I got a little bit too much adhesive right there on the outside of that. And I did the same thing right there. But I'm just gonna rub that off, and it'll come right off. So now I have this cute little pocket here, and all we have left to do is go ahead and decorate it. So now I'm taking a piece of designer paper. I'm gonna do 2.5 inches. Let's do 2 inches. And this is 2 inches by 7? Yes, by 7. Now we're gonna put a little band around this. Any of the designer paper, it's gonna work really well because everything's gonna coordinate. So you just wrap this around like so, and then add some adhesive. And again, use a strong adhesive or use a lot of adhesive so that it stays. So that's gonna go there. And mine wrapped a little crooked, and that's okay. Now, for our stamping, what we're gonna do is I have a real red stitched circle, and then I have this little Whisper White stitched die here, and that die comes from the Stitched So Sweetly, and it is this size right here. So what we're gonna do is take the Yumalicious, which is right here on this stamp set. We're gonna use real red, which I guess has been my color of choice this week, and this will layer right in on our paper here within our die, just like that. I always say be careful with this real red ink. Sometimes I feel like the red ink stays wet a little bit longer. And then we're going to put this right on here. We'll layer it, and then on the back of this we'll add some dimensionals like so, and then we'll bring our candy bar back over our little pocket, and we're just going to add this right here like so. You could add some ribbon around it if you want, and then you have your candy bar that fits right inside. And I love the way that turned out. Super cute gift. You could do this for teacher gifts. Anything like that I think would be really fun. So one of the things that I'm thinking about doing is adding this to the teacher gifts for Valentine's Day. And let me show you what I'm doing for our teachers for Valentine's Day. I'm doing really simple Valentine's Day gifts. over the years, what I have found best for teacher gifts is if I sort of do the same thing from year to year. So usually for Valentine's Day, I do some type of stationery. Like I will do a notebook or a little notepad or some cards, like some thank you cards. And that helps me to not feel so overwhelmed with all the gifts for all the teachers that I do. So this year, what I'm doing is I have some Becky Higgins notebooks. I love these. These are the simple notebook. I love her notebooks. They're amazing. I have every design she's released practically, and I have these on hand for gifts, and it's what I use. I love them. So I have this one. I'm going to give these to the teachers that are girls, and then I have one teacher this year for one of my kids that is a dude, and so he's getting this notebook here. And then I also have some notepads that I picked up. These have magnetic sheets on, or magnetic strips on the back. And then this one I picked up from TJ Maxx. It's actually a Ray Dunn, but it's pretty like simple, and I felt like it would be best for Mr. Newton. I felt like these might be a little girly. He might not want these on his desk. So what I'm going to do is just do a notebook and then a notepad, and then I was thinking about doing the Hershey chocolate right on top, and then I was even thinking like I could do a strip of designer paper around it, and that would be a great Valentine's Day gift. So then same thing for Mr. Newton. I'll do the same thing where I'll just add these 3 things, and it'll be a cute little Valentine's Day gift. And then I have a card for each one of them. So that is what I thought I would do with the chocolate bars. Super easy and a great way to dress those up. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and you enjoyed this. I will be doing some Valentine's Day treats for the next couple weeks and showing you guys what I'm doing for those around me that I'm giving Valentine's Day gifts to. If you need any of the supplies that I used today, they are linked in the description below and on my website. If you are in need of any of these items, I would be so honored if you would place a Stampin' Up! Order with me and get your items with me. When you spend $75 this month, you get a free embossing folder for me, and all that information is in the description below. Thank you guys so much, and I will be back tomorrow for Memory Keeping Friday, where I will be sharing my One Little Word album, and I will be sharing with you all what my one little word is this year. Thank you guys so much, and I will chat with you tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today and watching my videos. Here are 2 other of my most recent videos. I would love for you guys to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will catch you in my next video. I hope you all have a wonderful day.